I am joined by Matthias from Millencolin, who, of course, is imminently set to return to Australia, co-headlining with Pennywise this month. I was about to say this February, but it is February, and it's going to be happening very, very soon. A heap of sold-out shows and plenty of incredible memories set to be made down under again. But firstly, Matthias, how are things in your world right now ahead of this killer tour?
Well, we're super excited to go back down under because right here, right now here in Sweden, it's in the middle of winter, so it's always great to come down. This is actually the 15th time we tour Australia.
Ow. Yeah, you've probably seen more of Australia than I have at this point. I'm absolutely sure of it. But tell me, the last time I saw you guys was actually when you were here for Good Things Festival. It feels like not that long ago, but of course, some time has passed as it does since then. But as always, Bill and Colin have stayed busy. You've done South America, Slam Dunk Festival. You've ticked off your 31-year anniversary tour in Europe. So many things and too many amazing things to name in this one interview. And looking at it though, I believe that these Australian shows are your first live performances for 2025. Is that correct? Are you kicking off this year in Australia?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. So, no, like you said, 15 times, we definitely know some of what we can expect. But have you guys been planning anything in this slight break you've had over the New Year period to do something different? Like, is there anything we can expect from a show in 2025 from Millencolin that we perhaps haven't seen before?
Who knows? It's all a big surprise, but I
I
guess
like
yeah.
that.
No, as always, I mean, we have so many songs to choose from when we play live, so it's kind of hard, to make everyone happy. But it's gonna be. It's also so cool that we do this with Pennywise because we actually did the first tour we did outside of Sweden was back in '95 with Pennywise.
Wow. So like, I don't like the word full circle because it implies it's an end of something, but it just feels like a really nice continuation. And you actually preempted a question I was going to ask. Of course, it is like music to any punks fans' ears that the two bands would be coming together. Can you share either from that first tour together or from a different time that you've crossed paths with them? What is your favorite Pennywise memory from this long friendship and professional journey you've had with them?
Well, I mean, we know them for such a long time, but I remember we did it's pretty funny. We played the Warp Tour back in '97 in the US. Actually, this was in Canada, in Montreal, and they played. It was like two stages, bands playing, and they played on the stage close to our stage, and they always end their show with the song "Bro Hymn," and they play "Bro Hymn," and when they were ending that song, we started to play "Bro Hymn." So that was yeah. So we got all the crowd to our stage, so that was fun, So
Yeah, I like.
there's a lot of stuff that's been happening too that's more under the radar that we shouldn't be talking about, I guess.
Yes, no, we will definitely not reveal any secrets ahead of its
No, no.
time, but let's go touch on your Australian experiences in your 15 trips, soon to be 16. I've read you previously recall sitting out in the sun at the beach all day with no sunblock on, and you've also mentioned in interviews about some of your early Australian shows in the 90s, driving around in vans and sleeping on floors. Now, hopefully, no sunburn or less sunburn this time. It is summer, but definitely, I would dare say no vans, I would assume, but what adventures have you potentially hoped to fit in this time round? And as a bonus question, have you actually been able to catch some Aussie drag racing while you've been here? Because I know that was previously on your bucket list as well.
Yeah, but I'm gonna try to catch some Aussie drag racing this time. And there's all, I mean, most of the times we go to Australia, it's always by the end of February. I mean, every tour except one or two maybe. And by the time we go home, the Formula One in Melbourne starts.
Mm.
I'm a huge Formula One fan, and so I'm going to miss out on that this time too.
Yeah.
So yeah, so because I know a guy in the Red Bull team, so I could get in, I guess, to like a pit thing. That would be nice, but it's not going to happen as always.
Well,
So, but
maybe it,
the drag racing I have to look deeper into because it's more probably maybe easier to attend, I guess.
maybe it gives us an excuse to bring you back for a 17th time. Potentially, we'll have to try
Yeah,
to line up. We'll plan the tour around it for you.
exactly. You have to.
Now, tell me, back in 2002, looking back a ways, Vans released some limited edition Millencolin Old School shoes. And on the shoe note, and in honor of your upcoming Down Under adventures, Has anyone from Millencolin fallen prey to a shoey in Australia yet?
A shoey?
Are you okay?
Yeah,
You're
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Drinking from the shoe, right?
Yes.
Like
Has
Danielle,
anyone done it? Will anyone do
Danielle,
it?
because Danielle Ricciardo used to do that when he celebrated his podiums here.
Yes.
I guess we have to do it on stage this time because we haven't done it yet.
So, question then the follow-up is sometimes people throw their own shoes up on stage. Sometimes artists choose to do it from their own shoe. Do you have a preference?
I'd rather do my shoe
Yeah.
because you never
That's
know.
my answer too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I said to someone else I spoke to earlier today from America, I said maybe we could just have like a spare pair just specifically designated for that if you are going to do it, and that way you don't have to then put it back on and have a wet sock because wet socks are
Yeah,
not
yeah,
fun.
yeah. A totally clean new shoe. But
Absolutely.
is this thing an Aussie thing with the shoe?
Yeah, look, I've noticed it less, but it seems to still be hanging in there. And I hope that it's not something that is a defining trait of Australia. But given the fact that you have a bit of a shoe connection, I wondered if anyone had done it yet. So you've made it this far without it, which I'm actually very impressed by.
I guess, yeah, we haven't done it yet. But yeah, to fulfill it, we have to do it in the Millencolin van shoe from 2000, and they're kind of hard to get now, So it's
Yeah.
maybe
Well, I spied there were a few going around on eBay, so we'll see. We'll see if we can rustle something up there
very
next time.
expensive. Yeah, yeah.
Now, talk to me about Millencolin audiences across the globe too. Like, obviously, you've played pretty much in every corner of the globe at this point. Do you find there's a significant difference between, say, an Australian crowd compared to Brazil and or a home crowd in Sweden?
Well, I mean, it's basically the same because it's the same punk rock community, So I mean, the only country that is very different is Japan because people are very polite and, it's different and especially, I mean, when we visited South America the first times back in '96, it was very violent. It was very different back then, but not now. Everything is more, I guess, the same.
Yeah.
Especially with the internet and people see how other people react, and it tends to get the same.
Yeah, and I guess something I have noticed as an outsider, what is so amazing about a band like Millencolin is the fact that you would be such a unifying band, not just for people in different parts of the world, but also various generations. I mean, you'd have OG fans from day one through to fans who just found you on SOS or at a festival lineup or a tour. Like, you truly are a band for the ages. Are you noticing this multi-generational thing in the crowds as you continue to play these shows, especially with these anniversary shows you've been doing? Is that something that has been noticeable?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's important to. I mean, it would be kind of depressing if we played and it was a bunch of 50 and 60-year-old people in the crowd. So, but I love them too. But it's it's a good mix. There's a lot of new fans, and especially in front of the stage, front row is young people. The older people are back somewhere in the back, I guess.
Yes.
So, but it's very, very. I'm very humbled by that thing that it's important, and especially if you get into punk rock these days, maybe our name will pop up, and then so it's healthy and good.
Yeah, well, I feel like everybody wins because all of your OG fans get to still experience it. You guys get to do that. And then we have this whole new wave that continue to discover it. So it's a beautiful cycle that continues. And I love to see that it's still continuing. And thank you for continuing to come back and bring it to us in Australia, might I add.
Thanks for having us.
A song that obviously a lot of people would be familiar with, yourself included. No Cigar hit 100 million streams on Spotify, which is a genuinely ballistic start. Like 100 million is a very high number, as we can help it.
Yeah.
It is an iconic song for many people, myself included. But for you personally, regardless of how many times you've played a song live, what is a current Millencolin track that you absolutely have adored performing at this point in your career from the most recent shows that you were playing last year?
I mean, of course, you like to play a song like that because you get a good response from the crowd. But also, I mean, the song SOS from our latest album, the first song on that album, has been a really good live song to play. And usually with new songs, it's kind of hard and different to play them live in the beginning. It's not hard, but it's, but that song has been growing, and is I consider it one of the best songs from the new stuff. So I like playing that song live.
Yeah.
And for playing live, I never get tired of playing a song live. I can play it. I mean, the song Mr. Clean, we probably play that live 1,500 times, but it doesn't matter for me. You know, it's still fun.
I love hearing that. It is so refreshing because no, not naming names. A lot of people I've spoken to, they're like, we're sick of this song, this, and that's, look, that's fair too, obviously, with people who have been doing it for a long time. But I love hearing someone who has been doing this for as long as you have and continuing to still create new music, still put out new music, still tour so much. Like, it's a really nice thing to hear that you still like your own music, because we all absolutely love it. So it's nice that everyone can share in that as well. It's another unifying factor of Millencolin. I love this.
Thank you. Thank you.
And finally, you are a busy man in and outside of Millencolin. You have your own range of hot sauces. I did spy that you made it into a crossword as the main picture clue with the Killer Snake Racing pick, snagging runner-up for the Summit Racing EDRS series last year. Throw in the ongoing creative success that you have had and how much you have going on continuously, as we touched on at the start. What inspires you the most at this point in time, both creatively and or personally?
Ooh, no, I mean, I actually been listening to a lot of new music lately. Because for me, when I do music all the time, I have periods where I don't really listen to music that much. But then when I'm in my garage and do stuff, I do my hot sauce in the garage too, and then I get time to listen to a lot of music, and I discovered a lot of new music that is new to me, but maybe not for other people. So that's been a lot of inspiring for me.
Yeah.
Being right. Yeah.
That's awesome. Just before I let you go, because I know our time is nearly up, but who is a band that you have recently stumbled onto that you can share with us?
There's a Norwegian band called Blood Command. They actually played Australia. Super good band, and also the American band Comeback Kid. They've been around for a while, but I've been listening a lot. They're going to be number 1 and 2 on my Spotify most listened next year, I guess.
Excellent.
I get stuck in stuff, and then I just listen to it all the time.
I'm guilty of that, and I don't see it as a bad thing. I think it just is really fun to find that music in your own time and dive into it and go all the way back. And 2 amazing bands. So thank you for sharing that insight. More importantly, thank you for coming back to Australia. It is very, very soon that we will get you here on a long plane ride, but we will obviously always give you the warm welcome, not just because it's summer, but we will be very excited to have you and Pennywise back here later this month. Thank you for your time.
Thanks so much. Thanks.